What up, everybody? Live on a Tuesday night, which is very interesting. But I did call it episode 194 because episode 193 last night was canceled. Welcome to a very special Tales from the Flipside.
Tales from the Flipside. From the flip side.
Holy cow.
So for the record, dude, as a CEO, I kicked everyone off who wasn't at Baltimore, and they're not even allowed on Flipside anymore. I'm joking.
Oh boy, what a weekend. Everybody that joined us over on Simple Man's channel and jumped over with us, thank you, appreciate it. The Baltimore content is going to go deep tonight, I imagine. We have a bunch of people that are going to be jumping in and out. Half of us are half dead, half of us are recharged, so we'll see how it works, but it was a lot of fun. We're going to be getting into it. Thanks for everybody that's hanging out in the chat. The girls show just ended also. Shout out to Comic Book Women. And make sure you guys check them out. Everybody else, how's everybody doing? Hell, I mean, this is crazy, like bonkers, man. Flipside CEO, how was the con from the booth aspect?
It was good. I was very honored to meet everybody. Even the fans, like we got a lot of stuff from a lot of different people just as gifts and whatnot. It was crazy. The booth was good. We'll talk about the con, and I won't spoil too much, but no, it was cool. It was cool meeting everybody. Everybody was super pumped. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was. I think that was by far. We're going to go over that a lot. It's going to be a broken record about meeting everybody and seeing everybody. But I think the consensus is that more people will be going to Baltimore every year. You know, we've been talking about the cons the last 4 weekends of cons going on, and about the excitement that seems to be, you know, just building after each con. And I was really worried about going to this con and this not being as exciting as Motor City or New York or you know, whatever. But it was amazing. It was absolutely cool as hell, and yeah, it was very cool. So very interesting. Another person who was there as a retailer, Phil from Vintage Comics and Toys. What's up, brother? How was the show from that aspect for you?
As what perspective, Brian?
As a retailer, as selling at the con.
Oh man, it was great. We had our best show. Like, we're just building on that high from New York Comic Con, and we literally we did really well. Like, did not expect to do this well, and it worked out really good. I mean, everyone was buying. A lot of people were looking for vintage rails, and my buddy over at Eric Wagenar over at Monster Comic Shop, he was my neighbor, and he was just killing it. He made like $40,000. It was crazy. Like, at least he sold a Gem 83, X-Men 4. Like, man, he had everything. And then he went to Short Box and bought an X-Men 1 CGC 3.5 for like 13.5K straight up. I mean,
wow.
You know,
wow.
And to get an X-Men 1 at that price at GPA that's incredible in itself too. So I had a really good show. The vibe was pretty good. I felt like there were some people that haven't been like at cons like since, you know, COVID started. So I was seeing some reactions from people like, oh my God, this is that much, and I can't believe it's this, and also, they also thought that a lot of books would be available at the con. So, in regards to modern books, like Invincible 1 was not seen. You know,
I didn't see any either. I
didn't see one.
Yeah, and Dino and I, the huge talk also was a Hulk 1 being in the room, at least 2, and Dino and I actually had an opportunity to buy one. So. Yeah, I mean, it was exciting, man. I had one client who spent $100,000 at the show. Like, he was super happy. I'm going to keep his name anonymous, but he was super ecstatic about the buys there. I mean, whether you're looking for gems in the dollar bin or big wall books. I mean, pretty much had a wide variety.
Yeah. Well, there was absolute amazing con floor presence that we'll continue to talk about. There was also an amazing after hours, shenanigans that was a lot of fun. I do want to say real quick, shout out to Heartless Art, Heartless Weeb. I'm very happy to be hearing from him because this is the first time that I know he's alive since him dropping me off at the airport. Yeah, he had to drive back on like 2 hours of sleep. So thanks for letting me know you're alive, brother. And it's good seeing you. I'm going to bring in Jonathan too. But
this weekend, dude.
Yeah.
I've had California weekends with him. I've had him out there, and they end up similar.
Yeah. Gotta love Nick Hart. But the coolest thing was, like I said, just seeing everybody. We got to hang out every night. There was like groups of us that would just wander. We'd all end up meeting at the same place and hanging out for most of the night, just bullshit and having a good time. It made that whole thing of just getting off of this whole COVID and everything much easier. It's when I say it, I feel recharged. I really do. Like honestly, like it was the first time in a long time where I'm like, all right, I got some motivation. I know I talked this about Brian all the time, and I don't mean to throw you under the bus, Wood, but motivation is hard to come by when you're constantly doing stuff. And to have this type of shot in the arm of motivation, especially to create content, is amazing. I don't know. What do you think, Wood? How do you feel like that in that aspect afterwards?
Yeah, we kind of had a conversation about that at the booth where if anyone's experiencing burnout, it's definitely me right now. I mean, you can look at my channel and see that the content's gone way down. My day job has me working crazy hours, but just being at that con kind of was that rejuvenation, seeing all you guys, seeing friends that we know for so long, and just being back in the mix of it, as Phil said, is just kind of experiencing con. It kind of rejuvenated your passion for the hobby. You're around like-minded people and individuals that enjoyed the same things as you. So you struck up conversations, and it just kind of made you ready to come back here and start creating content again for my channel. Come on here with y'all's channel. I still probably won't get back to 4 or 5 videos a week like I used to do, just because my job won't let me in family life. But it definitely reinvigorated me to get out there and try new things, not even just the old things.
Yeah. Amen. I think that one of the coolest things was having people come up to us and talk to us and say, thanks for doing what you do and this type of stuff. And one person that we showed a really cool video on Comics News Weekly just recently that and Comic Man Andy shot of going into Baltimore. And one of the coolest things was I literally couldn't walk 50 steps in the con without seeing somebody coming up saying hello, this type of stuff. And Andy, actually, I can't wait to see the video when it comes out. You're gonna have to let us know because you said you got video of walking around the con and just every 5 minutes somebody coming up and saying hello and just being nice and being like, that had to be amazing, man.
Dude, yeah, my entire goal for Baltimore was basically to spend time with people. I didn't go to buy books. I went because I wanted to spend time with people that I haven't seen for 2 years, and many other people that I've been wanting to see and haven't been able to see for 2 years. So my goal was to hit the floor and just hit record and walk the entire floor. And I would go 5, maybe 6 minutes, and every 5 or 6 minutes I'd run into somebody I knew. I'd run into a familiar face. I'd run into a good friend. So I'm hoping the footage comes out, because literally it's like I'm hitting record. I'm not paying attention to what I'm recording, because every time I'm running into somebody, and I'm hoping to weave that into something fun for the people that weren't able to make it, because that was a blast. I mean, that was really the drive, was because I wanted to spend the time with people.
One of the coolest things for me was getting to hang out with James and Jonathan from Hive. We talk about it all the time on the show that we work with retailers, and we talk about retailers that we really respect and that are doing different things in this game, this and that. And getting to hang out with them and see them in person just made that stand out even more. And we were talking, towards the end of the trip about, okay, what's the next con that we all want to meet up? and they basically convinced me to do my best to get out to Emerald City in December. So you never know. Could be next thing could be Emerald City in December. Could be C2E2. It's going to be something. But to both of you guys, James and John, thanks for coming out and hanging out. That was super cool, and we appreciate you guys doing that. I hope you guys had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did. Thanks for the invites too, and letting us hang out and getting into shenanigans with all you guys. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah,
it was fun watching.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you, brother. It was fun watching Jonathan egg on all the people at the bar last night. At one point, he's having the waitress walk out some water to Sean, and whoever ordered the Hennessy. Who is it that ordered the Hennessy? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah. So John just totally put it over the edge, man, with the Hennessy shot. If you guys see the if you guys saw the video from on the show, the canceled show from last night, that shot right there is the Hennessy shot that put the mighty Casey the Bat over the edge.
Dude, no. Well, I wasn't done, man. Here's the deal: when you switch to something that you haven't really been drinking, and you finish dinner, still hanging out, and you take that shot, and it ends up sort of in the wrong hole. You just need a moment to recover. That video didn't show the next 2 hours, dude. I didn't get that. I didn't go to bed. Nobody. Hey, I know better. People don't carry me very well, so I know I was getting carried on anyway.
It was a puke and rally, man. You got to puke and rally every now and then.
Every once in a while.
Hey,
every once in a while.
Yeah. So
that was fun as hell.
Hell yeah, that was amazing.
So I'm gonna give a quick replay for everybody that hasn't seen it yet.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I'm gonna.
Do we got?
Glad I worked for myself.
Do we got a video?
We've got
we
video.
Got a video of Big Leg puking in the street.
No, I was smart enough. I was smart enough to not to take a video of that because nobody wants to see the mighty Casey swing and miss. So, but this is pre. This is pre. So for all you people out there, cheers, guys. This is the Hennessy.
Hey, I finished mine.
Thank you so much.
Water for everyone.
Oh.
Yes.
Shout out to Peter's Courthouse.
Are you guys doing shots of Hennessy? I'll bring you some water.
Oh my god. So there you go, you guys. That's the great Hennessy shot of 2021.
Hey, yeah.
That's one time I was glad I was with my wife.
Same.
I started Thursday in California, continued to Las Vegas on Thursday night. Red-eye throughout the night into Baltimore, straight into John saving me and my brother-in-law. We were fine, but we didn't get much sleep on the plane, and they made our flight go an hour earlier. We left at 10 p.m. instead of 11, which means you land at 5 instead of 6. And I never thought that our crappy hotel was going to sell out, so I was just going to buy a room for the night or see if I could be able to pay for an early check-in. And it is sold out for Thursday, which I never expected. I thought Friday and Saturday might be, So yeah, John saved us with that. But then we kept it moving throughout. It was a wet weekend. It was a wet weekend. I slept 4 to 6 hours probably total, but hey, that's how it goes. Andy knows. I told Andy I had the ticket, and I at least still had the wherewithal to text him at 6 o'clock in the morning to be off. I'm wandering into bed right now. If someone else has one, take it from them. So, this happens. This is no. First off, the ringleader never taps out, man. So I think
you never did. I'll give you that, man. Even after that shot and whatever was after, there was more alcohol after it, I imagine.
Dude. It's really no issue. And I started days before people.
And he walked home like it was no issue.
through the Ravens game, through the I started every single morning in Peter's Poorhouse with crab cakes and Red Bull vodka.
You say walks home with no issue. He probably hugged everyone on the walk home too.
Yeah, how do you guys know I'm hungry? That's really who I am, though. I'm not the drunk hugger. I'm just a hugger, man. That's all right. I know
So-
whenever it's awkward for people. That's all right. Shit happens.
I got to tell one of the best stories for me at the con. That includes Sean too. So everybody's talked about the short box thing. Shout out to the short box guys. They really outdid themselves. They put on a cool little shindig, and to open the bar and the food, I mean, free drinks, free food, and trust me, they spent a lot of money in alcohol. I know they did, because there was a lot of people that just
That food,
three drinks at once getting them, and so we got to see Anna Love. Anna Love showed up there. Shout out to Anna Love, and it was really cool meeting her and her husband. And Anna and her husband showed up at the short box event, and so I walk over to introduce myself to them, and she goes, so who are some of these people over here? And tell me who are some of the people on the show. And I point to Sean, and I go, that's Sean, that's Big Leg. And she goes, holy cow, he's much taller than I expected. And then she looks at me and she goes, and George is much shorter than I expected.
That's funny.
George, I feel so bad for George, because George has been taking short pop shots all day on Instagram. It's been hilarious, dude.
He found a life pro tip though. If you stand like in front of the camera and everybody stands behind the camera, like farther behind him, he looks taller. So.
It's like those pictures you see with the hands holding up stuff. You do that with Nico. Even I was like, I didn't realize he was that small.
I was down to go rocking and Groot right through the convention, but whatever.
Yeah.
I asked him, "Are you wearing an adult bracelet?"
Listen, like a champ, he took it, man, and he shot back. So shout out to him. Here, he's in the chat. Look at him.
Oh,
you guys are fatter than I expected.
Hey, I will say, seeing the pictures that other people took, I was like, oh, so apparently, I really needed more push-ups and sit-ups during this whole COVID thing going on right now. Because muscle weighs more than fat. I think some muscles deteriorated in the last year and a half. I'm pretty sure. So
here's the
really good photos of me this weekend. Fuck's sake. So sorry. Yeah, Nico, you're right.
Here's the next funny part. Just because I saw somebody post it in the chat right now. So. Of course, Baltimore is where they shot The Wire. So I think it was you, Jonathan, right, that said that you guys went and saw, and they were filming somewhere down there.
They were filming a new show called We Own the City by the same director.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty cool.
it was really cool, and so the we got told about that, and then at the same time, like the somebody in the chat just said that they were filming a John Bernthal movie outside his hotel on Saturday. And what was interesting is John Bernthal actually came in the con and said hello to us, and they took a picture with Nico and Z. If you guys can believe it, it was absolutely amazing. So shout out to John Bernthal for stopping by and saying hello.
Of course, I leave the con and that happens.
Wait, Bernthal? That's City Limits Comics.
Right.
Oh. God, Jesus! I'm like, wait a
Nothing
second.
gets past you, Andy.
I got all excited and upset that I missed that, and then I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, dude.
Is that
Shout out to
his son
City
next to him?
Yeah, City Limits Comics. Just oh man, good dude. Was there to laugh about it, and I can't wait to. Hopefully, we're gonna try and get him on the show and hang out with us. But yeah, there he is with Z, George, or Nico, and John hanging out. So
again, George is the smallest person in the picture.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's standing a little closer to the picture now, which doesn't make him too bad. So
yeah.
That was a lot of fun, man. You guys got any good stories that we haven't talked about yet?
So we got pepper spray.
I want to hear that.
Did you guys
Let's hear it.
already?
What?
Yeah, so we went
Go
to
ahead.
after the short box, we went up to our hotel was right next to Camden, and right next to Camden Yards is the big Baltimore Royal Bars pickles. So we went up there. They had the 32-ounce $10 orange crushes, and that's what we did. We were crushing them, but towards the end of the night, we're all sitting. It was me, my wife, my buddy Matt, or Washington Apple Matt, his wife, and then John and Erica from the 616 Comics. And then there's a group of people behind us talking. And, if you're in Baltimore, you either smell poop or weed. I mean, that's what you smell. And that's Baltimore for you. And then all of a sudden, I smelled something that smelled like, I was like, man, what kind of weed is that? And it was like really like stung my nose. And then next thing I looked down at the table, and everyone at the table sneezing. There was this drunk girl behind us, and that group of people that just decided to spray pepper spray, and she went all nuts and crazy. And we my wife, my buddy's wife, they were trying to calm her down, make sure she was okay. And then after that, we just let it go because we found out that she was okay, and she was pretty freaking nuts. And then she was threatening to spray the pepper spray again, and we're like, let's get the hell out of here.
I think that was the same chick that James and
the kick on deck for a pepper spray. Come on, there's some long legs around here, man. It's just get it right out of her hand with the whole.
I mean, that's not even the crazy. I went to the pickle pub the next day for the Ravens game, and this girl, she fell down in the bar, came out, sat on the sat down on the she was smashed, sat down on the wood bench out there, and proceeded to projectile vomit all over the street. So, yeah, it was good times.
And all the rats came out and started eating it up.
Pretty much.
What were you gonna say, John?
Gerbils.
What's up?
What were you gonna say?
Oh,
before?
Did you guys already talk about the trash can beers?
Oh
Was
no!
he on earlier?
No,
Was
he
on
hasn't
here
been
earlier?
on. No.
Oh man.
Yeah.
How about
Some
the trash
shit.
can beers?
Let's hear it. Somebody
All right,
needs to
all
drop
right.
the story.
So we like, it was like 2 a.m. or something like that, and all the bars were closed. So James fucking goes and gets like a half rack or 2 of beer. I think 2 6-packs of beer from the store.
Yeah, like
And
to go.
he throws it in one of those Jim Lee backpacks that we won. And so
Shout out Shortbox.
Yeezy decides, like, hey, let's go back to the casino. And we're like, ah, shit, yeah, let's go. And we get to the casino, and they tell us, they look in Yeezy's backpack, and they get his they find the beers, and they're like, oh, you can't bring these in here. They're like, well, we're like, where do we put them? And he's like, just put them in that garbage can over there. So we put them in the garbage can. We go and gamble for a little bit. We're kind of down. Most of the time, we're just even or down. And then right at the end of the night, like, a bunch of us win a blackjack hand, like a few blackjacks. Plus, the dealer doesn't even know how to fucking count money. He's
Dude, it was
like, oh, yeah,
Patrick
you win
Mahomes' brother.
it was ridiculous. And then I decided, after we won that last blackjack hand, I decided to put all our money on red, on roulette. And then I was like, I got a feeling. So we throw our money down on red. We win. And then, hell, we were like, yeah, right, let's go. Let's go get those beers out of the garbage can. And the security guard said, oh, you guys can't get those out of there. And we're like, well, can we drink them? And he was like, yeah, I don't see why not. So we just sat there, huddled around that garbage can, cracking those beers, and drank the rest of those beers, celebrating.
We're the only people drinking. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning or something. Everywhere's at, they last called it. Well, I think they cut it off at 2, right? I think same as California. So we're sitting there, we get in there, and yeah, that's it. And that's just us huddled around a trash can, drinking these beers that are still cold. We've been gambling for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we can't get a beer. And I'm like, and the guy, like he said, you can't take them, but well, we can drink them. We can drink them. All right, let's drink them. So we just sat around with all trash can beers, baby, trash can beers. And all we did was drink trash can beer, and we didn't fucking leave until we were done with them.
And I remember
my brother-in-law wandering up with us. Then he said he had to go home. So I had a non-comic guy who came and had fun with everybody. But then I couldn't get him in the cab because of. Oh wait, who do I have to? No, I think I got James. I got us Mats, right, from a cab driver, and I think that then my
Sleepy
brother-
was there.
Yeah, Sleepy was there.
Right.
Was it someone needed a mask? I think it was James. Was it James or was it Sleepy? I don't know. These
I think it was me.
situations. And so so I tipped for these. Then my brother-in-law, I said this guy, I was like, dude, I don't know what he's gonna run up on your taxi. I was like, but we're only going like 3 miles. I gave him $50. I'm like, you promised to get him in the door. And he's like, yeah, I get him in the door. I'm like, you swear to God, dude, I'm gonna give you $50. Just get him in. You don't have to turn your meter on, nothing, man. Just get him to the hotel. And he's not like asleep or anything. He doesn't have to carry him. He just is like, dude, I'm too drunk to gamble. So I get him over there, get him in there, send him home with the cab driver. The cab driver, and he's like, okay, man, I'm good. He's like, yeah. He's like, you can tip me if you want. And I don't think he tipped, but I think $50 to drive him 3 miles was good enough. So
how rowdy did the fans get at the game? Sean, how rowdy did they get at the game? How rowdy did they get at the game?
You can watch my video on my Instagram of them making fun of them.
Let me find it.
But I don't know, they didn't seem that rowdy. There wasn't many Bengals fans. I took pictures with other Raider fans. It was kind of weird. I didn't expect to see other Raiders shit there, but I did. So it was fun.
Some dude commented that I had the greatest sweatshirt with the Survivor Series 88 sweatshirt.
I don't know who's joining live, but I had to document how Ravens fans leave 7 minutes with the game left, and it's not over. No. There's 7 minutes left of the Ravens game that I came to, and all their fans went to the exits. Jeez, guys, I'm going back to the park because I'm a Raider fan wearing Raiders gear. Yeah. So this is how it's gone. I found more Raider fans, I think. So anyway, 7 minutes left. No one really cares. They're not confident in overcoming the Bengals. But the only team they lost to was the Raiders before today. So that makes sense. Anyway, I don't think there's anybody left in the stadium. There's no hope left in Baltimore. Not my fault. I'm going back to Comic-Con. If you're at Comic-Con, I'll see you there.
Yeah, so that was my live walk back to Comic-Con.
Hey, they're doing a Lions walkout, man.
That was it. Well, dude, it ended up, I think, 41-17.
I mean, it was close in the second half when I left. I was like, oh, okay, it's a little bit of game. And then I turned it on and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Jared got some gear. He got some shit for his kids. And, yeah, we just built out.
Ask James about my roommate's driving.
So we so you guys are all leaving to go get ready for the meetup, right?
Yeah.
And so I walk down to that wing spot. I'm like, well, I'll just grab a beer, kill 20 minutes, and then walk over. And because like we'd all been meeting up there all week, I'm like, if anybody's going anywhere before there, they're going to this spot. So I walk over there and see Nico and
John.
Yeah, Nico and John. They come walking over. And I'm like, what are you guys doing before? You know, and they're like, oh, we got to go move for our hotels. So we're going to go grab our cars and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I'll just come with you. So I go with them. That was a whole mess because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. They're in a parking garage trying to pull up directions to the hotel, which you're not getting GPS to work in a parking garage. So John's lost. They spend their 10 minutes trying to get their GPSs to pull up. Finally, I'm like, you guys do know we got to leave the parking garage for your GPSs to work, right? So like, all right, yeah, let's just leave. So we get in the car and George looks at me and he goes, the smartest thing you've done today was getting into my car. And he starts telling me like that, like the night before John had driven wrong way down the street and like a bunch of other stuff. Right. And, you know, he doesn't drink. So there's like literally no excuse for that man to be driving the way he drives. And so we start leaving the parking garage. We make it down about one floor of the parking garage and they're up on like the 5th or 6th floor. And I turn to to Nico and I'm like, dude, do you guys, neither one of you realize that we're driving the wrong way down this parking garage? And like, it's just wide enough that you can fit a car. So the whole time I'm waiting for a car to come around the corner. We get to the end of the parking garage and
these dudes were sober. These dudes were fucking sober too.
Yeah.
That's
the whole time.
Yeah. So there's like no reason for any of this. We get to the bottom of the parking garage, and then they start to drive back up the parking garage. And I'm like, no, the gates are right here. You guys got to flip around. So he's honking at him, gets him to turn around. We get out of the parking garage, and then I guess they had each assumed the other one was going to plug it into their GPS when we left the parking garage. So we get out and like dead stop in the street a block down the road, waiting for someone to like take the lead and drive and lead the way. It was just, oh my God, it was hilarious. It was freaking hilarious.
My favorite part is the fact that when you guys got there, George didn't know where to take all his valuables or to leave them in the car, and the dude just leaves them in the car. You're much nicer than I am, Nico. Let me tell you. Shout out to Lenny Cerna, $10 for the super chat. Awesome meeting you guys. Spineworks Comics, the presser. Listen, Lenny is a cool dude. He had a table. Yeah, Spineworks Comics. He's a restoration expert also. I told him that he needs to hook up with we need to like form Voltron and get him and Red Hood and Sean and Hive Comics and all those other guys in some crazy group chat so we can like have the Voltron of pressing and stuff like that. But shout out to Spineworks Comics. Real cool dude. Came by and talked to us. He's out of Florida. And it was a lot of fun meeting him and talking to him. So the event on Saturday night was pretty cool. We got a ton of video from it. We live streamed from it. I want to say shout out to Dino and his wife for pulling it off. They got how many pizzas did you guys get?
We got like 15 extra large pizzas and like a crap ton of breadsticks, and it didn't even matter.
There was a bunch of alcohol there. I think before we left, there was like half a bottle of alcohol left. But there was a ton of alcohol that was consumed at this event. It was a lot of fun, man. A lot of people talking, chatting it up.
Everybody signed up for my timeshare vacation spiel. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was nice being in a conference room and being able to do the stuff we did.
So low key, I didn't know how big the conference room was going to be, so I'm surprised it was that big. So
yeah,
Sleepy's the only one tried to sell books.
I threw my books down, so I felt bad for Sleepy. So I ran up to the room and got my books, so it didn't look like he was trying to lone soldier it out there.
I was wondering why all this was out. I thought you guys just put them out to show people.
Nico was trying to give his away by leaving him out in his car.
Yeah, I know.
It's like we packed up for the night, and he grabbed all his most expensive, his $8,000 and $6,000 books, threw them in a bag. We get to the hotel, and he goes, "I think I'm going to bring them with." Then we get there, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll just leave them in the trunk." I'm like, "You are insane,
crazy, dude."
Me and Sleepy were kind of talking about maybe if we do it next year, maybe we'll do like have some vendors actually show up and like maybe do like some late night swapping. I don't know. We'll see. I didn't want to be too crazy with it, but we'll see next year.
Man, it depends. It's vacation for some of us, and also like if I gotta walk somewhere, at that hour of the night, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Might as well just do it at the con, kind of. But it was a great idea, man. Thanks for those of you that spent the time to put that together. West Coast people didn't have much to do with that, but it was really great to see everybody stay up, eat some pizza.
What?
We got it was nice of the one particular person to throw us books for the funding of some pizzas. And stuff
yeah,
is that real?
Yeah,
Nico?
Yeah. So, I guess it probably was my fault. I'm gonna take the blame for it. So Sleepy wasn't there when this whole thing started. So I was like, well, we'll just put Sleepy stuff on the side, like the side of the booth there on the corner. And I was like, cool, no big deal. And I guess someone stole his somebody stole the Children 198 out of his box or something.
At the hotel?
No, at the con.
That's a bummer. One thing that I do want to give a quick shout out for that was huge is Wanted Comics. Shout out to Drew Lujan, who literally paid for a lot of the food and drinking that we did. And we sold a bunch of books that he donated for beer money, and it was absolutely fantabulous. So shout out to him for showing us some love, and he was there in spirit. So It was a lot of fun. Also, real quick, I do want to give a shout out to the guys that are on this platform because they showed this today, and one day we will have an amazing story about this right here that happened at the con. But until then, this is a really cool exclusive that's coming out from Hive Comics soon. What's going on with this, you guys?
Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You've been warned.
And I met Trish. Trish is a great person. She came up to the booth like right at the very beginning of the booth. She's like, "Hey, I'm Trish." I'm like, "Hey." It was great, dude.
That was one of my biggest regrets is I didn't get to say hi to Trish, but it's not a big regret because you literally couldn't unless she came over to you, because every time you would walk by her booth, there was 4 or 5 people waiting in line to get something autographed or talk to her. And she was so busy. I mean, literally I went over there as everybody was starting to like pack up at the end of the night on Sunday, and there were still 4 people waiting in line for her.
I've seen a lot of people get sketches from her around the con.
Yeah. She was saying that her sketch stuff or her not just sketch stuff, what is it called when they do the bigger commission work, was signed up for the first night. Just she couldn't take anymore. So that was really cool. It was really awesome to see her and the Stray Dogs crew just do so well. And there's going to be more Stray Dogs books coming out. And we're all excited for them and that, and also this awesome cover. So make sure you go check that out and show all the Stray Dogs crew some love. Really doing good stuff.
I was actually able to have lunch with Tony Felice a couple days before the con, and amazing dude, does such spectacular work, and he has some really great covers coming out for the dog days and stuff like that. So great guy that you want to give a follow to, and congratulations to all of them in this big hit, this well-deserved hit, and looking forward to dog days for sure.
Did you guys see anything else? Did you guys do a walk around Artist Alley, or especially even the Hive guys? Did you guys talk to any new artists or anything? You spend any time getting to find anything new?
We found a couple.
We found I think about 3 artists that we're going to be hooking up with. It was the first time I got to meet a bunch of guys I've already done covers for, that we have for, and I previously did. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Who was it? Ben? Can't remember his last name. Oh, and Stan Konopka. He wrote Rejected for Source Point Press. Chris Mad was there. He was I think he was the artist on No Heroin and some Dead End Kids too. But yeah, we met a few new artists that this one guy was doing these he does this digital book on what was it called? What was that, James? The military, the Japanese.
Oh yeah. Oh man, we're gonna have to tell you guys more about that. The guy done so he did some really crazy watercolor pieces. So we stopped by to look at it. Some really, really good stuff. But he had a book that's coming out that it's about the Japanese led units in the U.S. military during World War II. And so it's a historical history-based comic book about that unit, the 401st, awesome. 421st or something like that.
Something like that,
He's doing a book on that. He's kickstarting it here soon, and it looks amazing. But he did all the put the whole thing together. He did a lot of the writing for it. And then he did all the interiors and the covers, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's cool. The 400, it looks like the 442nd.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, that is really cool. That is very interesting. I love when they do these historical books like this, and especially on stuff that we don't know a lot about. It is really cool, really, really cool. So shout out to them for doing that. Yeah, man, it was nuts. I walked up and down the Artist Alley. The Artist Alley was great. I wish I would have been able to spend more time there. I know, Andy, you got a sketch, right? Who was it that you got the sketch from again?
I did what I hoped to do was basically walk all the alleys and then look for what spoke to me. And Steve Messenger art was at one of the very ends in the middle down by the food court. And he had some super dope looking medieval stuff and dragon stuff. But when I turned the corner, I saw a Boba Fett sketch of his that stopped me in my tracks. And I'm like, dude, we got to do something Boba Fett related for the sketchbook. So I threw two ideas at him. I said, Boba Fett, and what do you think about him on the throne? Like how they ended Mandalorian season 2. And he's like, I'll work with that, man. And I let him have free reign. I'm like, do whatever you feel like doing. I just really am interested in getting some Star Wars work from you. And this video is not doing this justice in person. The incredible lines and the detail that he's done in here is fantastic. All of the shading and the scaling that you see is all done with line work. And he absolutely killed it. And this was like I think he put about 3.5, somewhere between 3 and 4 hours into this over the course of Saturday.
That's funny. My wife picked up some Steve Messenger art too, man.
That's dope.
Really?
Yeah. Look,
hold on.
Oh, I saw that. Oh
yeah,
my god, yeah.
She got a bunch of them in here, dude. She's like 3 or 4 of them. What's on the back here? And then she picked up this thing, but yeah, she has this one. She has Leatherface. She has all 4 of the horror prints. So
he's got some originals that I wanted to pick up. His originals that he's got, like, however long he puts into them, his originals. You think that his con sketches for 3 or 4 hours are good. His original stuff is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm dead serious, you guys. Like, seeing you guys say this stuff that you guys came up and said hello to us. That was probably one of the coolest things, to be able to meet you guys and to shake your hand and to say, what's your name on YouTube, because, like, that's how we know you guys. So correct. that was really cool. And Dino, you're gonna have to hopefully save me here, but I forget the gentleman's name who came from Hawaii and came up and
Maurice.
Yeah,
Maurice.
He handed us. He dropped off a box of these badass chocolates that saved our asses in the hotel room, especially for me, just being a huge stoner and getting the munchies. And then I got all these amazing Hawaiian chocolates and shit for me at night.
Oh, see, look at this. Look at
Those
this.
were good. Those things were fantastic.
Look, he just shows up. People know.
So we got to get him on, try to get him come on the show just to talk about the art auction, because there was an art auction there, and I don't want to give too much away, but he had some pieces of original art from that auction that were so amazing. I really hope he put it up on his IG. If you put it up on your IG, please let us know so we can show people it. But he got probably 10 pieces of OA that were absolutely stunning for like a steal. Like, you would never even imagine what he paid for him. It was ungodly cheap. So
I wouldn't be shocked if we see a Steve Messenger Star Wars variant at some point with the detail and level of comfort he has with Star Wars stuff. I'd be shocked if somebody doesn't approach him at some point.
I'm gonna actually pull up Steve's IG real quick. So
dude, I spent all night last night going through that, man.
Yeah, look at there's your sketch on his thing. That's super dope. So yeah, here we go. Here's his setup here. He let me get to his booth. There we go.
His booth is dope too.
Yeah, he did a good job. That was really cool. So make sure you guys go get Steve Messenger art a follow. His art is just absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, it's super worth checking out.
So the funny part about this whole story is that we told my wife told me last at Motor City last weekend that we don't need to buy anything because we have so much art as it is, and then she goes out and buys more art, which is fine with me. I don't even care, but I just thought it was funny.
Dude, show a couple more of his Instagram posts, because when you start getting into there's some stuff that he has is just absolutely. I wish I would have splurged and bought more OA from him at the con.
Yeah, wow. Look at his booth. It's very nice.
Yeah, there you go. The bottom one's right there. We got we got I got the
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Ben Templesmith, doesn't he? A little bit, just a little bit.
I guess.
Maybe not. Anyways, he's good.
The line work he does. Just I really like it. Like, for some reason that reminds me of a lot of books in the 80s when I was growing up, Punisher books. a lot of JR Joe Quesada covers and art that I saw. They were using a lot of work like this, and that's how they did a lot of scaling and shading like that. And it just kind of speaks volumes to me.
Yeah, we just had somebody jump on, and he jumped right off, so we'll have to bring him on when he
That
comes
was
back
Stray.
on.
That was
Yeah,
Stray.
Stray. Yeah. I definitely want to get him on to talk to him about that. But yeah, man, this is very impressive. There was a lot of fun, man, at the show. I couldn't have had a better time. Like I said, the after party stuff was pretty impressive. I will say, you guys definitely don't want to miss the next drunken chat or whatever show that Heartless Art is on, because I can't tell his stories. They're just too good for me to tell. He's got to tell them. But let's just say Heartless Art pulled the Heartless Art, and it was glorious, and I can't thank him enough for it.
I do want to shout out the shirts because Scotty Reagan showed up. So they did the shirts. Look at this, boys. You want to see that little dirty flipper action, bro? You don't want to see that.
Yep.
So,
mine's in the hamper.
What's that?
Mine's in the hamper.
Oh, I washed mine.
You know what?
I haven't even unpacked my suitcase, dude.
Yeah.
So.
I've had probably 6-7 people at the show tell me how great it is to see those shirts with the dirty flipper on them, and how great that hashtag dirty flipper thing is, and all that type of stuff.
I think I'm gonna put them up on Teespring because I don't think Scotty's want to make one at a time. While to talk to him about it, but if I don't, I'll put them on Teespring because a lot of people. So I ordered double the amount of shirts that I thought I was gonna need because I was like, oh, I'll have a lot of these boys, and they were all gone by like day 2.
Yeah, shout out to Scotty Reagan. For those of you guys that know, Scotty's an OG member of Flipside. We're going to do our best to convince him to come on as many shows as possible. It was a lot of fun hanging out with him and seeing him for the first time. And he hung out and was a trooper out there. He saved my ass. The dude literally put me at ease. He showed up on Saturday with goodies for me and just made my life much easier. Then he hooked me up with a original. I'll go grab it here in a second, but he hooked me up with a Jenny Frizen art piece that I had forgot that I had bought 5 years. Stein had picked it up at a con for me and Reagan, and he sent them to Reagan, and I totally forgot about it. And Reagan was like, "Oh, we were supposed to meet up, or I was supposed to send it to you, this and that." So he showed up with the art, so that was really cool. But hey, listen, we got to meet a lot of people. One of them was Stray Flex, and I saw that I missed out on hanging out with you at the booth. I know that you showed up. I want to try and find the picture, but you got to take a picture with the guys. How was the show in your opinion, brother?
Dude, the show was great, man. Honestly, I had a good time. And I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to catch it. I was kind of running around all day.
Of course, brother.
Dude, honestly, my favorite booth at the show, and I'm not saying this because I'm on the show now, was the Flipside booth. It had everything, man. It had foreigns, had crazy comics. I got this from, I think it's right?
Yeah.
Random Golden Age comics, and then there was some foreign stuff. Rob hooked me up with some crazy. It's hard to see, but these crazy categories. Just a lot of fun stuff overall. And I think I got this from Nico too. It was an awesome Marvel mystery, dude. They had everything at the booth. They were giving away deals. The whole all those bills and everything. The Mr. Comic Book guy was awesome. Yeah, I think it was fun. Dude, I had a lot of fun, especially at your booth. So you guys crushed it.
And adding to that, dude, I think we had one of the most diverse walls out there. I was surprised that Z and his he went down the foreign rabbit hole, and I'm like, Z told me he's not on, but he told me he's either living or dying by foreigns, and there was a lot of interest in foreigns at that show, which surprised me. I mean, I know foreign's got its own niche kind of thing going on, but a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's dope," or if it was Mexican Spider-Mans or whatever it was a lot of good movement on foreigns there.
Yeah, I could talk about that a little bit because I lost my voice a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
you were yelling.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I said a lot of books were moving. A guy was definitely on the Ghost Rider tip. He bought the entire Vampire run, the Danish Ghost Rider run. A lot of the Spider-Man stuff went. I sold a couple of the modern variants too. A lot of people was curious, bought up a lot of stuff. So yeah, we had we had the only foreign wall there, so we was definitely diverse. Dirty Flippers Unite. That's kind of how that goes.
Dude, and the shirts are sick, man. I love that shirt. Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
man. Yeah,
Those
let's go.
shirts are
And
awesome, man.
shout out to Emiliano for making that logo and doing a dirty flipper
That's
underneath, and Scotty printing them. It was great, man. It was dope.
And
So.
shout out to Nico for slinging some good deals like Strict Flexion's talking about. Like George wanted to move books.
Yeah, he's motivated.
Yeah, he was like cutting deals left and right. I was surprised, you know. I was like, "Oh, what's the best you could do on it?" And just like he slashes the price down.
Oh yeah. It was I mean he was worried we didn't have enough books, but I mean we had a ton of books, but it was good. Yeah, it was good. I was happy. I thought, what do you guys think of the traffic from the show? I thought it was a little light. I thought it'd be a little bit more. I mean, Saturday was banging. Friday was actually crazy for me. Like it didn't stop for us for some reason. But Sunday, I think, because of the Ravens game, and you know, it just was light. But I mean, that's a Sunday, right? I mean,
also,
to
be honest, there's a certain way a booth can be set up, like, because this is two booths. This isn't one booth.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So you see something this big, that's why some look half the size. They're not half the size. That's just one, and this is two. And so with so many, you know, handful or whatever you want to say, different sellers with different stuff on there, we're just the rest of us showing up and hanging out. It was like in a welcoming environment. Like, you know, even though none of my books were on the wall, I'd realize I'm standing in front of somebody. I go, come on, hey. Like, come on in here. I know, you know, it's like an inviting place for people to buy books. There's like a lot of space for people to walk around and look at a wall. It's a good way to set it up. And I know, like, not every dealer can afford to either have two booths. And let's be honest, not everybody. Not that all of us were employees, but there's so many people there. Like, you don't mind. Like, I've worked a booth with one other person when we had a big booth. Only one time when there's two of us. And like the moments by myself when the con was at full swing was almost overwhelming. And the fact, and let's be honest, not that I think there's a lot of theft there or something like that. You still got a lot of expensive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody being able to take care of each other and showing the camaraderie and meeting people, it made it like a hangout more than a hangout and a sales booth. You know, I think.
Yeah, and the thing too is like having we always joke and call it the killing zone or the murder zone where everybody can actually walk. So what makes my booth kind of different than me and Z, how we've been doing it for years, is that we make a little like aisleways, so you actually can come into our booth and like get like this close away from a book to actually like see it. I invite everybody back. I'm like, hey, you see something on the wall? Like, come on back, and you know, like. A lot of dealers don't do that. Like, hey, stand 10 feet back. And like the other thing that people don't talk about with Baltimore is the lighting from the Baltimore Raptors or whatever you want to call it is terrible. Like, like the glare, you can't even see like half the books because the glare off the books, and it's just brutal. I mean, I know like Super World, they always bring their lights in, whatever, so it's like brighter than hell. But you know,
those lights are cooking those books.
I know, dude.
Here's the other thing is they did the con floor design backwards from 19.
Yeah,
I remember 19 it being really comfortable to hunt for books and go to booths, and this year I remember this was like glaring, like Artist Alley and everything else was the 19 layout was way better than what this layout was, and people were telling me that they did like a 180 for some reason.
It's a different building.
Yeah, it was a different building. It wasn't the same building.
The other building, it was always right across the street from Pratt Street. So this is a little smaller because there wasn't quite the amount of vendors. So they flipped it. They flipped it back. Like, I think the L was different or something like that.
I thought that when you walked all the way down to the food court, that was the one that was the section we were in last in 19.
No,
that was two separate buildings.
Completely understand why you're saying that. That makes sense, but no, yeah, it's a different building. It was.
I walked 9 miles on Saturday, so I thought I was in the entire building, and that was only half of it.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
It's a smaller area, I believe.
Yeah, it was. They sent me an email out to that.
Real quick, I want to shout out a few people.
Kind of like I kind of always had a layout, and a lot of dealer vendors have been in the same places. And I walked in not knowing, have any idea where I was going.
I want to give a real quick shout out to a couple of people in chat who are there. Shout out to Ace Cable. Ace's Cable is the one who came from Hawaii and just made our trip so much better. Ace, you got to figure out a way either to come on the show or post your art that you got. It was amazing, and we'd love to have you on to talk about it. It was one of the
he
best
brought a
parts.
carry-on, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna show me some books and like he wants to swap some stuff. Man, brings on some candy, some bags. He was bringing out everything. I was like,
yeah, and also real quick, shout out to Steve Schuss. He was cool and hung out and talked a lot, and it was really cool meeting him. And yeah, you're right, to see Bird City sell out as fast as they did was really, really crazy. I think they didn't even come the last day because they were sold out so fast, which was nuts.
They left like at like 2 or 3 o'clock on Saturday. They were
out. Yeah, I caught them walking out about 2:30 that second day. And they're like,
nuts.
yeah, we don't have anything else to sell, so we're just gonna go sightseeing. I'm like, okay, good job.
Shout out to Justin Shannon also, who was there with his wife, I believe, and it was really nice to meet them and say hi to them. It was real cool. Man, we just met a ton of people, and we appreciate it. So I think Raging Ronin, thanks for stopping by. That was the other cool thing. Like, if you guys stopped by the tables and we had a shirt in your size, you got a shirt, or
for sure,
whatever. The guys were handing out.
Had hats too.
They had hats. They had these patches, these cool Flipside patches. Shout out again to Emiliano for the great art. The other thing that was really amazing, and I'm glad Robert's here to talk about this, is the amount of every time that I stopped by the booth, guaranteed there was 2 to 3 people there talking about foreign comics. The foreign comics it was crazy. It was absolutely bonkers. To hear people talk about how much they love them, how this and that. You must have met up with a lot of people from the foreign comics community. At least I hope you did, that showed up there, or they're just new people that are part of it you need to get in the community. I mean, what was it? Was it just the community is growing?
It's definitely growing, but 2 of the people that were kind of the ones that were there in the beginning was Tim Bildhauser, CBCS. He's the one that did the labels for CBCS for years, and Doc Scott Robinson. He's he's like the professor that does all the knowledge and stuff. He knows 15 plus years worth of foreign. So they came by and said, this is an impressive wall between me and Z, whatever was on the wall. I was able to talk about it. People that were confused. I know Straight Flexing was looking at the marriage issue, the 9-2 on the wall.
I think that's like that's probably the greatest grail. Sorry to interrupt. Like, of all foreign, at least Spider-Man era comics, I mean, I doubt we're gonna see that another show anytime soon. That's like the action one, the grail of that genre. So I was epic to see it in the 9-2. Crazy.
You know who pressed it? Guys, right there.
Yeah.
I'm not on your guys' points yet, but it's interesting because
you all my books.
Rob and John send me the stuff to press, and it's it's a little adventure because these are I don't get these books anywhere. Now paper can be paid, especially older paper can be paid, but you gotta see what's up. They're all different sizes, all different kinds of shit, stuff that's not normal. You know what I mean? And so and looking at their stuff, it's so interesting. And even though I get a chance to examine that stuff, I'm not. I'm completely interested, but you guys, I watch your guys' shows, of course, and I take the time, but it's just hard, like as far as like buying and selling stuff like that. And by the way, there's International Comics, Josh Allen. So to see all that stuff is great, but it actually put it like in another perspective for me. Like just seeing like what John had on the wall and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Or whatever he's got going with all this foreign stuff. What you guys have going with the foreign is just the crazy stuff that I'm looking at all this going like, holy shit, you don't see that conglomerated. You might see a book here and there, maybe 2 books, maybe 5 books, you know what I mean? And you guys are the ones that open, I think, everyone's eyes to it, except for that, Matthew Webel and the other the community that you guys have. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. Seeing the stuff that you guys put together like that.
What is that, Rob? Is that a 301 variant?
Yeah, this is the 301. Z gave it to me because he knows I'm doing the 301 set, which if you don't know my IG, you're missing out. But I'm far from done. This is one of the last 4 I need. As you can see, this is the big boy. See how thick that is. With the 301 is definitely I'm one step closer.
This is Rob's IG channel. Make sure you guys go check it out. This is a quick shot of the Flipside booth that I'll just keep playing. You can see how great it was, and I mean the wall was amazing. I think you guys already talked about the Big Booty Gwen book. There was 2 Big Booty Gwen books there. There was the wedding book there. John got like asked about the wedding issue, and you could tell John didn't want to sell it. Like, and the numbers that they were talking about was like 40 grand. I was like, holy cow, man! Like,
and he still said no.
Accident.
Yeah, and he still said no.
Still said no. Because
Dude,
he won't see it again.
Yeah.
He told me that he purposely didn't tell me I was pressing like a $40,000 comic book. Right? And don't get me wrong, it doesn't like I don't care. Like paper's paper. You give me $1 book or $40,000, it's the same. But like, if the post office would have lost it, that's on you if you didn't tell me shit like that. That's all I gotta say. Dude.
No pressure.
I pack well, I ship well, I cross my T's and dot my I's.
Dude, I was trying to sell a South African Luke Cage for the whole con. The thing was dope, man.
There's one person real quick I want to shout out, and because it was a really cool story. There was one book there that I saw that I was like, I can't believe this book is there, and I can't believe it hasn't sold yet. Real quick shout out to Steve Horn, who drops a $20 super chat in there. Such a good time. Really enjoyed meeting everyone. It was great seeing Steve there. Seriously, I wish we got to hang out more, but it was great seeing him. But this guy came up and talked about the Black Boy Fly book and really wanted it. And then at the end of the con, came and made a deal with Z to get it. And you could tell like how excited and how happy he was to have this book. It was like he had found like something that was more important than a grail to him. And so I just want to give him a quick shout out. When he was buying it, there was another dealer there that knew him and had mentioned that he has 2 bookstores in the area. It's Mahogany Books. And as you can see, he says bookstore written for, by, and about the people of African diaspora, creator of Black Books Matter, Washington, D.C. Area. So I want to give a shout out to him and make sure you guys go check him out because it was really cool talking to them and then to him and then seeing him afterwards. He walked over to another booth and he was talking to the people at the booth about getting it. You could just see how happy he was. So make sure you guys go check out Mahogany Books in that area.
To give you a little highlight of Black Boy Fly, the artist's name is Hebrew Brantley. And he only printed 100 of those books. And that book
I had one of them. I had a 9.8. I sold way too early.
Yeah,
it's this book right here, guys. This 9.8 right here.
Me too, and I think I didn't know there was 100 when I sold it. I got it from Toy Tokyo.
Yeah.
I wish I had picked up a copy. All right, you guys, we're gonna just so we don't have to make Rob just sit through the whole episode. He's got something very special for us that we're gonna hit to real quick. I'm gonna let him take over and go take a quick smoke break. We're gonna recharge, but Rob's gonna go through CGC unboxing. Who doesn't love a CGC unboxing live on air? So we're gonna give him the floor real quick. Have at it, brother.
All right. All right. I'm gonna start from the bottom. I got a 9.4. This is all done by Red Hood Comics. Shout out to you. He pressed these for me. 9.4 Bloodstone. It says light scuffing on the grader's notes. Don't see where that is, but still a win. There's no grader notes on this one, which I'm kind of shocked, but 9.4. I grabbed it for $10. I'm not mad at all. Still a win.
I'm tired of no graders notes on 9.4s, by the way.
Yeah.
As far as moderns, anyway.
Now I'm in the 9. I'm going to the 9.6s. Second print.
Ooh.
I got all these for cover price. Boy, I'm on a Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur kick anyway. Got the Timely. 9.6. What's it, number 2? Number 2, 9.6.
The variant, right?
Yep. All right. Now this one's the Piper variant, the one where she's on the floor. Got that in the 9.6. Now the rest of these are 9.8s. This is my second one. Shout out to Red Hood. Did that for me. Got the Pope variant, 9.8. Now we're hitting that scarce territory. The number 7, First Kid Cree. This is the Brigman variant. This one's a tough one. Mel Via vouch for this one. This is one of those tough ones to find.
What number is it?
Number 7.
Okay.
And now we're hitting that extra tough territory. Got a 9.8 on this beauty. Nice. And this is there's only 5 on the census on this one. And this is the Monsters Unleashed Future Fight variant. This is from the mobile app game. And I have one that Mel V would be jealous of. USA Avengers 5. Nice. Only three 9.8s on the census.
Nice.
Now this one I'm exceptionally proud of. This is from my PC. I bought this out of a dollar bin at Third Eye.
Oh shit.
Stephanie Hans. There's only 4 on the census, which I'm shocked about. And I kind of lucked out on this one. This was in the same box.
Ooh, love that cover.
Oh yeah, you looked out, dude. That's tough and high grade. That's a good one. I think it's more. It's not supposed to be, but I think it's more rare than the sketch. I see the sketch available way more than the color.
Yeah. And I have this beauty.
Nice.
Oh, nice, dude.
Number 3, 9.8. I bought this off the rack, $10. When nobody didn't care. And the granddaddy of them all, shout out to Drew.
Boom. Double second print, 9.8s, dude.
Shout out to Red Hood.
Wow.
Drew Lewan, when he had a little blowout, he sold me these too.
So let me ask you real quick about those. You sent those to Red Hood. Did they look 9.8 when you sent them to him? Because I've got one that I'm gonna send that Sean might already have.
I got your box right before I left.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I got Rob's foreigns up this week. So.
Do those press well? Do those Ultimate Fallout 4s press well?
Yeah, dude, they press really well. All of them do. The one that's a pain in the ass is it depends who you are, but the first one I tell people just to cut the bag off the number 1's poly bag. Get it out of there as soon as possible. It's just eating at the book. It puts a crease on the back. You're probably going to want to grade it anyway, and it puts a line on the back, but the line will come out, so it's the hardest one to press. The Djurjevic actually presses really, really, really easily. I love pressing the Djurjevic, and the only deal with the Pacelli is that I think a lot of them were unbagged for a while because it was like the all you can order second print, and because it's white, so it got rubbed from other books and stuff like that. But it's not a tough book to clean. But yeah, they press well. Ultimate Fallout pretty easy. You need something to know
Rob?
The number 1.
Say again.
You got more? Is that it?
No, other than that, I got the pickups, but I think I disclosed most of that on Simple Man's channel. Unless you want me to do it now, get it out the way.
Well, real quick, I want to throw out to somebody who's getting ready to fall asleep on us, and that's this guy right here. Shout out to John. What up, brother? How you doing, man? Can you hear us okay?
Yeah. What's up? I'm at work.
Yeah, I figured, man. So this guy gets off of work. What time did you get off of work on Thursday? Thursday.
Wednesday I got off at Thursday morning at 7.
So at Thursday morning at 7, he gets off work. He drives to Baltimore with Nico. Then he mans the booth the whole weekend. And then what time did you leave to go to work from the show?
3:30, and I came into town, dropped a couple of things off at the house, went and see my girl for like 20 minutes, and then came straight to work.
Now that's a trooper, ladies and gentlemen, and he tried to almost get out of it. We talked him into it. Not only did he show up, he was a trooper the whole con. What did you think, brother?
It was awesome. You know, I mean, meeting everybody in person was great. The show was great. You know, I've seen books that I normally don't see. You know what I mean? Met a lot of good people. I never seen that many foreign books in one spot, so that was awesome. Just like, you know what I mean? The only people I met before was like Sleepy, Mercenaut, Dino, John Z before, but meeting everybody from the show was great. Everybody's, you know, great people all around. Yeah, it was a great time. I had a good time. I'm definitely going next year.
And if it wasn't for John, we wouldn't have had a third wall. So, because Nico had all the books, so I appreciate him for that.
Well, it was nice the way you guys set up with the 3 walls, the 2 tables, the 3 tables that made up your guys' little square. You let people come in. We kind of talked about that. You had the Flipside banner on one side. That's how I found the booth every time. I was like, okay, just walk around and you will see the Flipside banner with the Mr. Comic Book mask on it. Speaking of Mr. Comic Book, real quick, before we get into pickups and that type of stuff, one of the crazy things was walking around and real quick, let me find it, and seeing people wearing these. That was pretty freaking cool. You saw them all. I would be walking around. Not only what did I see this, I would see this dude walking around like Bigfoot, man. I caught him out of the corner of my eye. He's just walking around the crowd. So we did get to meet the real Mr. Comic Book. I'm not going to out him. Trust me, you guys do not know who this guy is. We did get to meet him. We did get to say hello to him. We got to talk to him quite extensively. I know, Dino, you got to talk to him quite extensively before, but I never really talked to him. So it's very interesting, and we can't thank him enough for being a hashtag dirty flipper. I think with all of our love of flipping books and flipping books to buy better books, I think that hashtag will live on forever. So shout out to Mr. Comic Book. Make sure you guys give him a follow. He's really helping us out. And we'll see what happens with him. He's a very interesting fellow, very interesting. I think we gave one thing away. I really gave one thing away saying he's a dude. But other than that, it was a lot of fun seeing that. And if you guys got to see him on the floor, anybody in Baltimore that saw him on the floor, let us know.
Go to the go up one.
This one is one of my favorites, real quick, though, because we got him holding the Jeffrey Albertson book. So
go up and go to the right. Oh, go back down, that one. So we made our own money. How badass is that? So on the front is like a $1,000 bill, and on the back is QR code, and you can send it to other booths and like short box did a drawing with it. A couple other vendors had discounts, so it was cool. I'm glad that all worked out, man. I printed out 5,000 of them. I was nervous that I'd be stuck with like 4,000 and some change, but I hired some young fellas, I'll call them, and they dude, for like $20 a rack, they were just handing them out to everybody. So it was good times.
Yeah, that was interesting. I saw him everywhere, dude. And then every place that I went, every bathroom that I walked in.
During trash can beers at the casino that we talked about, I go in to the urinal. I think you guys know why men use urinals.
Yeah.
There was a straight Flipside dollar next to my foot while I was taking a leak at the casino. I swear on my mother's life. Okay, I took a picture of it. I didn't post it online, but I can send you the picture. I'm literally taking a leak, and there's Flipside buck. There's a crumpled Flipside dollar next to me, next to my foot, while I'm taking a leak at the casino.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's good. It's gonna
I
be
don't know
cool.
if somebody tried to like spend it and then got drug out of there or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this real quick, this comment, Fedor says, "Hey, McClay went to Fan Expo in Canada. Very underwhelming. Toronto is not a big comic city. Not a lot of variety. Inflated places. That was kind of a bummer because he was mentioned that he was going to the con a couple nights ago, and I'd asked him on the show, let us know how it is, because I was very interested in knowing if that energy continued outside of the States. So I know we're gonna have to also talk to Newbie about it, because I know Newbie went, and I'd love to hear what he said about it. But I'm really hoping and praying that not only for comics' sake, but for my sake, because I'm being very selfish and I want to go hang out with all my friends and have a good time like that again. I'm hoping that energy continues on to C2E2 and Emerald City and all the stuff that's coming. I know there's what's the show in Ontario that's coming up, Sean?
I think it's in December, but Comic Con Revolution, and I think it's actually going to happen. I think the LA Comic Expo or LA Comic Con, whatever, they keep changing the name. I think that one's done. But yeah, there's going to be one in December at least in Ontario, which is about 50, 60 miles east of Los Angeles. And I will 100% be there both days for that. I assume it's 2 days again. One in Comics might have a booth there selling, so that would be
that's cool.
If you want to see some good shit, come on down, man. The guy's ready to wheel and deal. So yeah, so I'm hoping that, but that's in California, man. I've been looking for everything else. It's really hard. It's always been hard to find good local comic book information, in my opinion. Like back in the G Plus days, that's why I did the CBSI local page, so people could post anything that they were doing. So anytime a comic book meetup, anything like that. It's been a weird world for a year and something, but like whatever, it's good to have that information. And just like it is when people make lines too long outside of the Comic-Con because they don't know where to tell people to go. The same thing, people don't always know where to go for cons because they don't advertise them that well in their community. So any of that.
Yeah, I think that that's a big problem in a community for a lot more things than just cons. And I think that us in this world that are in the content world, either IG or YouTube or whatever, us right here, we need to start figuring out a way to be better about that and get more people to know about the things that are coming, because I don't know how many people when we're on these shows will be like, I didn't even know that was there. I wish I would have known this and that. Let me ask Stray real quick something. Stray, where are you at? Where are you located at?
So I'm actually from Toronto. So
well, I feel bad now, man. I feel bad. Okay, so then let me ask you: what's the deal? What was up with the con in Toronto? Why do you think it was like that?
It's because it's Canada. Canada sucks, honestly. Yeah, no, it's not the same. I've been to that convention many times, and the quality is not the same. It's funny, it landed on the same weekend that Baltimore did, so I would have went to it if I was here, obviously, since it's close to me, but. I mean, the quality of dealers just aren't the same. The quality of books isn't. It's always overpriced, even more so than just like a regular con in the States. And I mean, the only real good dealer there that has like decent gold or some variety is Harley Yee. And he goes there every year. So he's the only one that crosses from the States over.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah. He's like,
did he trip through his own booth this year? Like he didn't.
Sorry?
Yeah. Look at Andy's laugh. Andy's trying to hold in his drink.
Dude,
Harley.
I like Harley. He kind of, sometimes he's awake, sometimes he's not.
You gotta catch him. He's
more
like
I like when he throws his books just all over his table.
He almost lost a bunch of them at Motor City. I feel bad for the dude. His whole wall fell.
He just said that the big dealer is Harley Yee, I think.
It's brutal, man. Quarter of a wall is gone.
That sucks, man. I remember seeing a wall come down, and either it was a past Baltimore or C2E2, and it was all slabs, and it
was all slabs, dude. I was gonna walk over and like, how much for some broken slabs? He literally he just grabbed like slabs. Him and his boys just grabbed all the slabs and went to CGC and just dropped them right on the table.
Wow,
slabs.
Brutal.
Oh boy.
Wow. Comic Ozzy says I was with Newbie at the expo. It was fun to hang out, but everything was really overpriced since then. Yeah. Well, hey, listen, that makes me feel even better that you say you're from Toronto, because that means that people are able to come across the border now and come to these cons, and that is super fucking important. So even more than ever now, thanks for coming out, dude.
Oh, of course, man. And thanks for having me on the show, and thanks for putting on such a good booth. I actually wanted to ask you guys a question about the con, what you thought, because I've been to this is I think the 4th Baltimore con that I've done, and now post COVID and post like this crazy market bubble that we're in, did you notice that it was kind of outside of like there just being less people and less dealers, like the quality of books were different, and it wasn't the same as before? It's weird. It's a little bit different.
I think that's every con now is going to be that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think it's twofold. One, obviously, it's what happened, and secondly, it's the boom happened, right? That boom during COVID changed everything for us. It's funny because I talked to Carl from Ion Comics. Shout out to Carl from Ion Comics. Mm-hmm. First time I got to meet him. We talk about him all the time on this channel and in this community, and what a good guy he is, and the quality of books he has. But it was amazing to hear him. I asked him, I was like, why don't you do IG or anything? He's like, I just don't. I'd rather just come to these cons and do the cons. And how he was talking about how through COVID, because there was no cons, like he didn't have anything, like he wasn't doing eBay, he wasn't doing nothing. And it wasn't till like the end of, or just recently, where people started showing up and stuff like that. So, but God, I just lost what I was going to say because Andy's up there doing.
Yeezy's in the house.
Yeah. Shout out to Yeezy.
Hey, how's it going?
The quality, yeah, quite possibly different. I don't know that it's a permanent change. I think something that we talked about before getting there, because in California we haven't had anything really. So some people, guys on the show, they've been lucky, or whatever you want to say. They just live in a different area of the U.S. where things have been open. And so the thing is that we've seen some of the biggest price swells and dips in the last year and a half or so, or especially the last 14, 16 months. And I think that we've seen, from the top end to the low end, things like that. So I think people showing up, the people that have been able to go to the cons, you've got dealers who are probably not going to get this full eBay price in person. And I think we have a new element in collecting that is investing but not selling. Not that we haven't always had that, but I think some people wanted to look for.
They're holding on to stuff.
Yeah. They're holding on, so you're not going to get books. So at the same time, those of us that are Comic-Con people that go to cons constantly, that go just meet out in public and talk about things and have a good time. We don't like to pay necessarily unless on something that isn't really rare, maybe top dollar or something like that. So if you look at what you're going to do, if you're going to have all the dealers asking for above top GPA prices or cover price prices, you don't know if you're going to hit that or not. And like some of the new investors, in my opinion, are people that would never, ever, ever wait for 2 hours for a temperature check in the rain in Baltimore to go buy a comic book.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there's going to be a disconnect between sellers and buyers here for a little bit.
Yep.
And people are going to have to deal with that. And so we might not see the top end books even bothered to being bothered to be taken to a con.
Well, I saw some guy. He's in from Clawson, where me and Andy are at, and he only bought like 7 short boxes. He's like, on Sunday he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, I'm buying all day today." He goes, he shut his whole booth down. Like it was like half the booth was his buddies or whatever, and that was still up, and the other half was just down. And he was just like, "Yo, I'm buying stuff now." Like I don't know if people are gonna bring all the. I mean, you only can bring so much, right? Especially with all the craziness and all this other stuff. It's like you're trying to haul everything in and loading out. It's just like You know,
But you know what's interesting though is the trend I'm seeing after I'm curious to what's going to happen at C2E2 is I feel like some of those books that people aren't finding deals on, or the books that aren't showing up that are being held, I feel like modern keys are being used to pay for booths. I feel like people are cutting some deals on some modern books to sling their fees or swing their fees. I'm a modern chaser. I like chasing the next modern blue chip books. I like chasing the next modern keys. That's my thing. And I feel like Motor City and Baltimore, I found better deals on books that I've been looking for or I buy on the regular than I have in years past at other conventions. So maybe things are kind of swinging towards that game. I don't know.
Well, one table that had no problem selling out of books was Bird City Comics. And ladies and gentlemen, we have Laura. This is her third show tonight. She started off the night with Comic Book Women. Then her and Yi and crew did Comic Book Food Chain, and now she's over here. Laura, how you doing? Thanks for coming on.
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. It's been a crazy night, but yeah, I was excited to kind of hop on with all the guys, and now I've seen half of you in person, which makes it even better.
That was amazing because we didn't think that you were coming. Everybody was all bummed out, and then out of nowhere, you take a quick flight out to Baltimore. You show up. Everybody was super excited. You know, at one point, here's the funny thing. So you guys all want to know who the most requested person to see at Baltimore was? Yeah, it was Laura from Bird City.
Laura, yeah.
Sunday, they had sold out of all their books, right? So they decided, we're gonna go. Did you go to the White House? What'd you do?
Oh yeah, I'm a huge history nerd, so I was like, Anthony, it's only 45 minutes away. Let's just drive there, and we went and saw the White House. We got these little bird scooters that they let you rent, and we just scootered around all the Smithsonian museums and went to the Capitol building. It was
well, while you were over there enjoying yourself and having a great time, like 10 people came up to your guys' table and were like, "Is Laura here? Is Laura here? I was told she was going to be here. I need to take a picture with her."
Oh man!
So you guys sold
Bird City stickers on the bird scooters.
Oh, thank you. That's where my head was at.
Yeah. That should have been. We didn't do. Yeah, no, I didn't even think about it. We were in another world by the time we left the con that night. It was just. Right after the con, actually, we got invited to attend the Ringo Awards. So
wow.
Anthony and I got to go to that like last minute, which was so cool. We got to see a lot of like really cool artists and writers talk about like what brought them into this industry. And can you guys guess what the majority of them had kind of the same idea as to what made them have a passion for it? Can any of you guess what it is?
What?
But they started collecting themselves?
No, they were all saying that they were trying to get kids involved and children and the next generation involved in reading, and that several of them had been teachers or had worked in the educational industry in one way or another, and they were saying that bringing comic books into the classrooms helped kids that had difficulty reading. And the big thing that they were saying is that comics are literature and they need to be recognized as literature. And Anthony was just sitting there like, he
was probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Bullshit. They did it for the chicks. Bullshit.
Who's the guy who created the modern?
Look, Joe even agrees.
Wow.
the guy that did the modern Black Panther, Priest, is that his name?
Yeah.
Do you guys know?
Yeah.
I think that he was there, and he was saying like
Charles Priest. What's his name? Yeah,
Christopher Priest.
Christopher Priest. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there, and he told this story about how he was at like a dollar store one day, and there was this kid in front of him looking at like a Black Panther, like something, a little toy or something, and he like knocked on the dad's shoulder, and he's like, "I actually created that character," and the dad looked at him and goes, "Why would you say that to my kid? Obviously not true." And he's like, "Of course it's true," and he's like, "Well, why are you at a dollar store then?"
Oh wow.
He totally didn't believe him, but it was just, I don't know. It was really interesting. So yeah, it's a good time.
Wonder World Comics says Steel Free. Speaking of Wonder World Comics, we tried to get Dennis to go out. He, for whatever reason, tried to get us to believe that he couldn't come out, but we know you can come out. Come on, man. Show up. We don't care. You're Dennis Barger of Wonder World Comics. But he said Steel Freeze. And speaking of Steel Freeze, Rob got a killer Steel Freeze piece, and he's got to talk about it real quick. This is one of the coolest stories. He told this on Simple Man's a little bit ago, but we have to retell it because it's so cool. Tell them about what is it, Thomas River?
Thomas River. This is a story he did on his Kickstarter. He did it about maybe 6 or 7 months ago, and he is a James Bond style character. His origins from Baltimore, Cherry Hill, and when he did the video, when he got the books in hand, he said if you bring him the blank variant, which is this one, he would give you a free sketch. Me being a diehard Stealth Freeze fan, I said I have to do it. And then when I get in line, he already had a line, so he did this when his sketch line was already filled or whatever. He said, I'm not doing any more sketches. But as he was saying it, he was drawing this at the same time. He was like, man, you really need to come earlier. I normally don't do sketches. You just have to come early, do the VIP pass. And as he was doing it, and he said, just so you know, oh, wrong way.
Says first con sketch ever. 10/22/21.
Wow.
The first person to ever bring him that book to do work on was Rob.
Wow! Congrats.
Yeah,
that is
and
a
then,
cool freaking story, man.
This came with the Kickstarter package. I got the other 4 variants. One's at CGC right now, the regular one, but this one I've been trying to get a sketch from Stealth Freeze for years, and it's only fitting that I get this one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. And that totally goes along with the story that Laura was talking about some of these creators. And look at this. This is another piece of art he got from Steel Freeze. Go ahead and show that, Rob. That's the
print.
Monica Rambeau print. Beautiful watercolor print. Yeah.
Love the colors in that.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah. Was Steel Freeze on that Black Panther run?
Yes, the Ta-Nehisi Coates one. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, amazing.
Can we go to the sketch again really quick?
Yeah, you want to show that sketch again really quick?
Can we add context to this weekend here? That's a full-size comic book, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Your hands make it look like an ash can. That's how
he's got Carter's hand. Yeah.
It's called the Carter effect.
That's the Carter effect. Yeah. That's because him and Sean are redwoods. I think the most comments that we got about the con was how tall Sean is. So I told this story earlier on Simple Man's, but I'll tell it again just because of how cool she was. We got to meet Anna Love, which was amazing.
So bummed I missed that.
Oh, she was so great, Laura. She was so cool. We met her husband, Tyler.
And her husband.
Yeah, her husband Tyler was super cool. They had a crazy thing happen to them out on the streets of Baltimore. It was nuts, but they were awesome. They won. It's funny. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna play it. Let me find it real quick because this is really cool. So Anna was she came to the Short Box event, and I think we talked a little bit about the Short Box event and how cool it was and what Short Box had done. But when we were there, I can't remember who I said it to. It might have been Sean. It might have been Nick. It was somebody. But I remember getting there, and Shortbox was giving away these backpacks, and the final grand prize was a 9.8 Killing Joke, right? And yeah, here's one of the backpacks they're giving away. Those cool Jim Lee slab backpacks. Yeah, they're absolutely amazing. And so they said, yeah, we're going to give these away throughout the night. It was free drinks, free alcohol, and free food. And trust me, the alcohol was flowing. And I remember telling somebody that you watch Anna, who has the most amazing collection that you will ever see, is going to be the one to win the 9.8 Killing Joke. And sure enough, it happened. And Anna is so cool that she did this. Check this out. Let me show this for you guys.
Hi guys, it's Anna. I'm packing up from Baltimore to go back home, and I've had a great weekend. And a lot of people are asking me about the stuff I won this weekend. I happen to be an exceptionally lucky person, and I am grateful for that. And the people around me generally are too, like my husband, who won this awesome backpack from Short Box at his event, and I won this Killing Joke in 9.8, and I love it very much, and I think it's an awesome book. That's why I have one. So I want to put this back out there and make it someone else's great memory. I have the memory of getting it from Short Box, and I could put it in a box and keep it forever. You know how I work. I would. But I think that someone else should probably have this instead of me. So I'm going to give it back to Short Box. and they're going to hook up with guys from Tales from the Flipside, and they're going to do a whole different giveaway for this book. Now, I want to know who wins this book, and if it happens to be another dirty, rotten flipper out there, I want them to give it to me first as an option at a ridiculously cheap price, so we can put it back up and give it away to someone else who has it, keeps it, enjoys it, remembers what it feels like to get a special book, and keeps adding to their collection, because I am here for friends. So throwing this back to Shortboxed, hooking it up with guys from Tales from the Flipside, and I suppose you could win it just like I did. And I'm going to keep up with this because I'm excited for you.
So that was
Hi,
super, super, super cool.
It's incredible.
Yeah, another great memory to add to the con. Those are the type of things that we love. Again, you know, we're getting all cheesy talking about meeting everybody and seeing everybody, but that was super important. It's super important for the world we're in. You know, I'm not gonna get into it again, but funnest part of the con for me, definitely. Laura, we didn't get to ask you, other than seeing the White House, what was it like being there?
I was nervous to meet people. Like, I was really genuinely nervous. I was saying on the 2 shows I was on before this that it felt like kind of like showing up for a blind date, and I didn't want people to be like disappointed to see me in person and be like, oh, that's what you really look like. And I had just gotten off a plane and stuff, so I was nervous. I was nervous that I wasn't going to, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I was nervous even when I met Jen and Lucy in person, because, like, on camera, you kind of feel confident because you're hiding behind a screen and it's not as nerve-wracking as meeting somebody in real life, I guess. But
This doesn't look nervous.
Well,
trust me, I was super nervous. I just got off a plane but like, it was so nice because then you show up and you realize people aren't judging whether or not your hair looks perfect. They're not judging whether or not you have makeup on. Everybody was just happy to see each other and to be able to, like, hug each other, and that was really cool. It took all the nervousness away, that realizing that this community is not that superficial. It was more just about
Red Hood, it was fun hanging out with you. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it was a blast.
Too.
Yeah.
So the reason why I asked that, Laura, is because one of the cool things that happened to me was, and it was really cool seeing them come up and talk to you guys and get to hang out with you guys. But one of the cool things was meeting the team of 616 Comics. Yeah, it was absolutely cool to see them. They came up and talked to Anthony for a while when I was hanging out there, and you could just see how long that Anthony and it's John and Erica, how well they got along, and just how great of people they were and stuff, and to see, you know, all these different people meeting each other and people that are going to be working together and the community that is building. It was really cool to see. So shout out to the 616 Comics.
Oh, we got trashed with them on Saturday night. We didn't get back to our hotel room until like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
Because of them. We were at some bar and they were like, we're closing. So they kicked us out onto the patio, and like, we're out on the patio just drinking, and we're like, we're hungry. So we had like some pizza company come and deliver a bunch of pizzas to like some random corner where we were all just like rowdy. It was fun.
Yeah, that sounds like most of us.
That sounds like a Baltimore vacation. That sounds like a Baltimore Comic-Con right there.
Yeah.
I was 6 and told Andy to go find a ticket somewhere else. I was like, dude, I don't know what time we're getting here, but it's 6 in the morning. And I don't know if you can get a ticket anymore. But it actually worked out. Like he said, the universe blessed him, and he couldn't.
No, I seriously think the universe came together, the stars aligned, and it told me to go there. Like, every team member on my team told me to leave work early and go to the con. Everything I saw online said go to the con. I went to the con. I didn't want to miss out. 40 plus people that I haven't been able to see in 2 years, or I haven't met in 2 years, I got to spend time with. And I didn't even need to buy a book. But lo and behold, I stopped in my tracks and found like the one book we've been hunting for quite a while now.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And at the same time, if you talk about like how, you know, I've said, hey, dude, it's 6. I don't know what time I'm going to get up. So it worked out for you to get in even perfectly without your line and stuff. Like he told the story on Simple Man's Comics, or we could check out. We talked a little about this before this. At the same time, because I had that pass, because it's just a wristband or whatever, in my wallet after the Ravens game. My brother-in-laws had like broken off or whatever from Friday. And after that, so we got in Sunday so he could, we got in Sunday so I could just hand it to him. And because it was after the Ravens game, so there's only an hour or two left of the con. So he got in to be able to buy the things for his daughter that he wanted to buy because he didn't have his pass anymore. So I was able to, even though you got in like that, he was able to get in like that on Sunday by you not getting that pass. So it went
Dude,
around.
The universe works in mysterious ways.
Fucking universe. It did us all well.
The line was absolutely crazy. Shout out to Doc Joe. That was another great person to meet. I was super stoked. I got to meet Doc Joe, hung out with Doc Joe, bullshitted with Doc Joe. That was a really cool thing for me. So shout out to him. But he stood in line for the whole day. That he just came into the con for like a couple hours on Saturday. I was like, I'm too tired of standing in line. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. So I thought that was very interesting. But real quick, one more thing I want to say before. Hold on, Yi. One more thing. And trust me, you're gonna want to hold on. Before we get into to show some of the cool things that we got at the con, one person that I got to meet who. And the best way to tell this story is like you already know a person is cool when like you meet them over StreamYard. You can kind of get a feel on somebody a little bit better, right? But the one person who is 10 times cooler than even I thought is Yeezy, motherfucking Yee. It was so cool to hang out with Aaron. Aaron was a trooper. Not only did he come, he hung out at the con. He helped Phil, with his con stuff. He helped us with our booth. He was with us at the end of every night, hanging out. He was my wingman whenever we needed to go smoke, and it was a lot of fun hanging out with you, brother. I really, really had a good time, and thanks for coming out, man.
Easy.
Oh man,
3 words.
Yep, I got it. Trash can beers.
Trash can beers. Trash can beers.
That was so much fun. Yeah, like honestly, this was probably the best convention I've been to all year. And then it was great to finally get to meet everyone. First off, and then also to break cards with Brian. Oh, that was so much fun.
Yeah, that was a blast. That was fun.
I don't think I told y'all. So on my way back, I actually ended up on the same plane as Doc Joe. And so we got to sit next to each other on the entire flight, like just like talking comics and everything and hanging out. Like it was so much
awesome,
fun,
bro. Dude, that's perfect.
Yeah, it was like I don't know how else like you could have ended a con better than that than like to meet someone that you had just met like over the weekend. I mean, besides like in chats and everything, but then just to fly back and just chill, like it just made traveling that much easier.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I picked Yee out of the line. I walked up, was like, "What are you doing my line, Yee?"
I think that's how I stumbled on you too in the Brian K. Vaughn line, actually.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I was like, I looked up and I saw the beard coming out of the mask, and I was like, Andy, and he was like, Yee, and then like and we just started chatting, and then like I'll have to put out that footage somehow. But I might wait until I actually get the book back.
Wait a second. Is Sean taller than Brian?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm bent over, so I
Wow. I didn't get to meet you in person, Sean.
Rob's in the foreground. We were at the booths at different times. Yeah.
All of us are at least 6 feet. Brian's hunched over.
Yeah, there's no under 6 footers in this picture. That's for sure.
No.
Oh, big leg. I get it.
Not that.
Now it's making sense.
Just one hop around on it. But
I feel like it goes big leg and then McClay and then Simpleman's. I feel like that's.
What about
Rob's another tall mofo too?
Yeah, Rob's up there too.
Yeah.
Rob was super tall.
Rob's probably second or third.
So
we're calling me Big Leg. Leg is my last name, which is not everybody knows it actually, but like Big Sean or Big Leg is everybody. I mean, that's always been my name. So I added the G to make me the only internet Big Leg like a long time ago. So yeah.
Laura says that she didn't get to see Sean, so there was two people that said to me, "Hey, you have to take a shot with me." Laura, who I didn't get to take a shot with, and Sean, who I did get to take a shot with.
More than one.
More than one. It was a lot of fun. First time I've drinking any alcohol in many moons, probably a year now. Maybe a little bit less. I think I was drinking some of the Pink Whitneys on podcast, but it was fun to go out and have a little fun at night. That was, for me, the best part of the trip was the after parties.
Hell yeah.
And I really hope that those type of things can continue in all the cons that we get to do. All right, let's get into
with me, dude. We know that this is my fifth year in a row of Baltimore Comic Con ringleading. When we used to do when we do the Pratt Street upstairs at Pratt Street, like it was like me. I'd say I didn't do something awesome like short box and buy everybody's food, alcohol, and con bags. I didn't, didn't rent a conference room, but I made sure they had a bartender upstairs every Saturday night that we were in Baltimore, and we would just meet up there and just have a good time because it was right across the street, man. So we had a lot of good times. So yeah, kind of stay up a little late with everybody in Baltimore. I don't fly across the country to go to bed early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to meet Nick either, and I heard that he's like a riot to be around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Nick.
I'll say this again. I'll say this again.
You never know.
Do not miss the next Drunken Chat or the next show that Nick shows up on, because he's got some killer stories. Nick always has some great stories. So
yeah, I'm bummed I missed him.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. All right, let's get into some pickups. If any of you guys, real quick, just want to share some pickups if you got any at the show. I know a lot of people are wanting to hear about pickups from the show.
I gotta go find mine. I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good. Rob, do you want to go first, brother?
Yeah, I'll start off. This can be quick.
Okay.
All right, this is courtesy of John Z. He knows I'm doing the 301 set, and this is a big boy. You can see it. And I took a walk down Independent Lane, and I got with another guy that's from Baltimore. He did his own book, Tarrant. He did his own book. He has that and a variant. I haven't got a chance to read it yet, but I told him I would support. I got this from Phil's Comics. I got it for a decent price with my dirty flipper money.
Hell yeah.
I got this beauty. I showed this on Simple Man's. I got this for a fair price from Cards, Comics, Collectibles. I saw it from across the Flipside booth, and I said, oh, I got to go buy it. And got this beauty. Double
the best
cover.
Pickup of the show.
Double cover. I'm not taking it out a second time. I'm going to keep it preserved. But if you go on my Instagram, you'll see it. And the coup de grace for me, outside of the Stealth Freeze, of course, is this beauty. The first appearance of Queen Nubia.
And for those of you guys that don't know, Rob collects Nubia books. That's why he's always getting those Wonder Woman books. He owns the best foreign. You almost have, or you have all the foreign ones. Right?
I have all the foreign editions, every last one.
So to get that piece of art,
editions.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember when you got that, you were so ecstatic to just like have that in your hands. Like you're like, I blew my budget, but like I was just like kind of like you can't pass up away when you have a chance.
Listen, I was flipping through. Aletha Martinez is the artist. She's a black woman that's drawn it. And when I was flipping through a book, because she had the variants on the table for cover price, so I was flipping through a portfolio, and next thing you know, I was like, wait, is this the original page? And she was like, yes, that is. And I was like, wrap it up, give it to me now. She was like, you don't know the price. I don't care. Give it to me.
Yeah.
It's coming with me. And then I showed her the picture of the foreigners, and she was like, wow, you really? I was like, yeah, you can literally say I've tore up the planet, including Antarctica, to find every cover. And I did.
Wow.
And I got it.
Man. That's cool. That's cool. All right, Andy, you up, brother?
Yeah, because I technically have to cut and run after this. But like I said, I went to Baltimore for the people, for the experience, for the time there. And lo and behold, the first get walking up to the Tales from the Flipside booth and flipping through some books was he cut me too good of a deal. This was too good of a deal on one of my favorite books to collect for the personal collection, the first Dr. Aphra. And then after all of the recording, all of the hanging out, all of the footage, all the B-roll, I actually it's like at 5:30 on Saturday. It's like, Andy, you better look at some books just in case. And sure enough, the 1 in 25 La Roca, I think this was the only copy at the convention. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, and people watching on the replay, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the only copy I saw. We jumped on it. I mean, this is probably the only shot that we were going to be able to get this book at a price that we could afford this past weekend.
Well, the best part about it is the fact that you were looking for that book at Motor City, came across one that was not a 9.8, but you were willing to settle on a 9.6. The guy wouldn't work with you. That was karma, bro.
Yep.
Because the next con, they knew you were going to walk upon that 9.8.
Yep. I couldn't get anybody to budge, or that one dealer to budge on that 9.6, and I was willing to settle. And that was one of the few times that I was willing to settle. And the universe said nope. And then the universe pointed me directly to Baltimore and said, drive your Keister 10.5 hours. Google lies. It is not 9.5 hours. It ends up being 10.5 to 11 hours. Bathroom breaks, food breaks, gas breaks. Seriously, it's like 10.5, 11 hours.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. That's great. Well, thanks, brother. We appreciate you, and can't wait to see the footage. We're gonna figure out a way to collate all the footage from everybody that was at Baltimore the best we can, and put out some good stuff, some good content for it. So, it was great meeting you, brother, and can't wait to see more of what you're doing everywhere, including on this channel. So
I can't wait, because as things continue to progress, I might potentially, hopefully, start working into that press badge situation where I can get an avenue where I can create more content, and I can do more booth recording. I can hit up like Laura at Bird City and get 20 minutes of her time instead of on a Saturday, trying to fit everything onto a Saturday. And you know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm hoping that 2022 is the year where some of those things start fleshing out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, reach out.
They will, brother. All right. Thank you, bro. Hey, Stray, do you have any pickups with you want to show off?
Yeah, I got a few next to me if you want to see
yeah.
something.
All right. I was looking forward to this.
Get your eyes ready.
Yeah, I know. This is the good stuff.
I showed this earlier, but this one from George.
Wow.
Awesome Marvel Mystery Timely Chambre cover.
Beautiful.
That skull, some KKK Nazis on it, the snake, some bondage. It's got everything.
That's a hardcore book, ladies and
gentlemen. Yeah, that was a cool one. And then on the other spectrum, some LB Cole.
Yeah. Saw a lot of LB Cole pickups from Flipside crew and friends.
Who doesn't love LB Cole?
Oh, man. Especially the space covers.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah.
This one's cute.
That Laura on the cover. that shout out to Ben Stein. Yeah, shout out to Ben Stein, who always picks a book that seems to have Laura on the cover of it.
This is kind of funny. You mentioned Anna Love earlier, who we met at the show. She's a really nice person, and her husband Tyler is too. She actually owns the original art, the original cover to this.
Wow.
I regretfully got underbid. I should have bid more on it at the time, but I got outbid. It was supposed to be the splash page of this issue, which is the same image, just repurposed. And then she later found out that it was actually used for the cover as well, which is a pretty big deal. Like, I would say that just increases the value by at least 2.
We're gonna lose him right as he's getting ready to show us the good stuff.
I got this from
Hold on 1 second. We're gonna wait for your camera to catch up.
It's a cool doll man.
There we go.
There it is.
There we go. So it's a cool doll man
That is
cover.
beautiful.
It's just an interesting one that doesn't get really much talked about. These are all from Dino as well. Horrific.
Ooh, I love that horrific.
This is my boy Rob hooked me up big on this Guri cap with the red skull right here. Oh, it's kind of hard to. There we go.
Yeah,
it's
that's
funny.
It's a colored skull.
Yeah, so it's a red skull, like the skull's white, but he's just kind of opposite. That's kind of funny.
That's why I love foreign books.
Yeah, the foreign ones are fun. This is a cool one. I wish it was in a bit of a better grade, but it's just really colorful war cover here. A lot of these have been picking up steam too lately. They've been cheap and just undervalued forever. All these early like Atlas War covers, so that's a cool one. Let's see. And then, some more foreign stuff. I got this from Z.
Not surprised.
A lot of good stuff too. More stuff from Rob. More foreign caps.
I did not want to let that go. You were so lucky.
And then this one too. Yeah, he hooked us up. This one's kind of funny.
That's a different perspective cover than the original. He's redrawn.
And then this one was a really rare book from Dino as well.
Dino,
just a crazy cover that you just
crazy
don't really
cover
see often at all. Yeah, crazy man, crazy. That's what it says. And then I got a few more books, but that's the gist of it.
Not bad. All right, Yee, you're up.
All right. So I'm gonna save a majority of them because we are planning to do with the Modern Playbook crew a pickup video, and so I'm gonna save a majority of them. But I'm gonna show a few. So I picked up the Saga 41 for $1.
Nice.
Like I need to double check to see if it's the error or not, but like for $1 for Saga,
Yeah, you don't have to open a comic for $1. That's my rule, dude.
Yeah.
You either buy it or you don't.
So this was a gift from Dino for just like helping out with the channel and everything, and then he was just like, oh, that's all you want? And then so he's like and then Nico was like, oh man, that was a good pickup. And then so I was like yeah, I don't know what else to get. I wasn't like really particularly looking for anything, and I was like, well, I'm looking to get into like Golden Age and horror and stuff like that. What do you suggest? And then we stopped by this booth, and so I picked up the Tales of the Mysterious Time Traveler. This is issue number 3 into the Steve Ditko cover. So it's my first Golden Age book. And then, of course, I'm gonna support the homies. Pick up the Stray Dogs Goosebumps,
which everybody was buying.
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna use this as my giveaway on Whatnot this Sunday. So I'm either gonna do a wheel or a randomized list. So for every $10 you purchase, you'll get an entry.
So the coolest thing, hold on up real quick, E. The coolest thing about this at the con was, so this is the glow in the dark Stray Dogs cover for Bird City Comics for the trade. Trish was there signing these with glow in the dark pens.
Yeah.
Oh man, I missed.
And then you also get the print, the little print with it too. And then, and Trish, her line was probably the busiest. And the one cool thing about this con was like to be able to go backstage on a lot of stuff. Like somehow I got in early the first day, and then I was helping out like just whoever I could or whoever needed help.
Yeah.
And so, and then what else was it? So I was taking Bird City's trade to Trish so she could have it on the table, and it was funny. Like whoever her security person was like she's not signing anymore, like blah blah blah. And I was just like, no, I'm helping out Bird City. I'm just here to drop off the trade to like promote and stuff like that. And then Trish like leans in and was like, oh yeah, he's cool, he's with me. And then
the most popular table at the con.
Yeah, and then I might as well show this off. This is something I've been like trying to get for a long time, and I'm in the middle of the trade process with Blue Green Artifacts, Tony, and so he sent me home with this. So yeah, so I just need to figure out what to trade him for or what he wants out of my collection to equal out this. So,
shout out to Tony, Blue Green Artifacts. Was at the con.
Awesome,
super
dude.
nice dude. Another super tall dude. He's tall as the rest of us. Like another one of those redwood trees. So he was really cool to see him, man.
Yeah. So and then the rest, I have like 2 more like store folios and like a pile of books on top of that to show
Modern
off.
Playbook.
Yeah. So that's gonna be on the Modern Playbook probably sometime next week.
Dope. All right, Sean, you ready?
Yeah, but I don't have a lot. So I actually only got a few comic books, and so we were talking. Someone was talking on Simple Man for this with a quick rundown. And like Andy said, to be honest, when I go to dig and stuff, it was really nice walking around and being able to see people and meet people. I met over the years. Like I said, I think the last 5 years in a row I've been. That's not okay, 1 year it didn't happen. What was last year? But 5 years in a row that I could have gone. So 4 years I've gone. So it's nice to meet people. I meet the same people, say hi. I've been doing the YouTube stuff for a while, from this show and the other shows, that Brian and I and other people have done together. So the comics I picked up weren't much, to be honest. I just wanted to give, like I did before, a shout out to Shortbox for that party they had on Friday night. This is the Jim Lee bag. Rob got one too. My brother-in-law actually won, but as my guest, he was like, "You can use this," and I buy like things that cost $1 in Funko Pops, and he realized that this amazing Jim Lee bag, where it's got like all this kind of whole poster tubes, stuff like that, inside holds slabs. There's all these layers for slabs, and I wanted to give on a second thing in a row, give credit to Shortbox for throwing a great party. I mean, free food and drinks can't be that. Shake your hand, be nice to you. That's the kind of person I aspire to be and that I try to be. So it's really nice meeting people like that, and it was really great to be able to go ahead and grab that box. And I think everything they're doing is great, and they're doing a great job trying to sell slabs. Hopefully be able to sell some slabs there soon, because it sounds like a way easier, better, cheaper way to sell slabs than anything else that I'm doing. And the other thing I picked up was this extra feeling of camaraderie that I've missed since March 2020 with my friends, and being able to talk to people. A lot of people that I met before, a lot of people that I haven't been able to meet before, and it's a thing that I don't get to say very often is don't forget that there's a world out there that we need to go meet and hang out together. That's that on supplement. Say here, go to the movies, go to Comic Cons, go to places where you can meet other people and enjoy your life. And let's not live behind cameras and the internet for our purchases and our handshakes and our hugs and our beers and our friendships anywhere. That's not how I believe life should be lived. And it was good to get back to that after a long time of missing that. After missing Baltimore last year, after 4 years straight going, So that's it. My pickup was love, emotion, and a backpack.
Yeah, as Ace says, and I couldn't have said it better than you, Sean. Amen, brother. Preach on. Yeah, I couldn't put it better. All right, so my pickups are kind of different, but I only bought one book at the con. Flipside knows it's a book I've been looking for a long time, and I got really lucky and I found it, and it's the Static 40 issue with the Lost Boys. Been looking for this book for like 5.5 years or so. So really cool. If anybody ever out there sees this book signed by the band, please let me know. Really searching for one of those issues. The other cool thing is somebody just walked up to me at the booth one day and was like, "Hey, do you want to be part of the 1%?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, I'm thinking like, "What, biker gangs?" And she's like, "No, the Court of Owls," and hands me this. So that was pretty cool. Got the Court of Owls mask and the trade that came with it. And then there's somebody else that I really want to shout out. Again, seeing people at the con was the best. One person that we haven't mentioned yet that we saw, who came with his family, came with his beautiful wife and his two young boys, and that is Lucas from it's Drunken Chat and Comic Crusaders. He not only showed up and came and said hello, he came to the Flipside event at night, specifically just to come in and say hello to everybody because he had plans with his family to go eat, and that really meant a lot for him to do that. He stopped by the booth on Sunday to talk, and I didn't get to see him, and he left a box for me. And as you guys know, it's been so hard for me to find sports cards and trading cards and stuff, and Lucas has been, him and Rich Taylor and Yee have been like some of my main sources for finding anything. And Lucas said, "Hey, did you check out the box there?" And I was like, "No." And the box just had it was full of cards. It had this Bowman mega box in it. It had
Nice.
it had a Prism football box in it, a Mosaic pack in it. So I had to break down all the packs to get it through shipping. I'm going to open these live on one of the shows. These are all the packs. And not only that, it had a Bowman Chrome HTA box in it from 2021. 3 autos are in here.
Nice.
So this is going to be a lot of fun to open. So a real big shout out and much love to Lucas from Comic Crusaders and Drunken Chat. He's a real cool person. Beautiful wife. Shout out to him. Great family. And then shout out to Scott Reagan. I told this about this.
Scotty Too Hottie, baby.
Yep, Scotty Too Hottie.
That was his whole sign in.
This was 5 years ago, I think, that I bought this. And finally, he brought it to me. Signed, beautiful Jenny Frison, Wonder Woman.
Wow.
Art that I'm really stoked about. So I finally got that. It was nice to pick up at least one piece of art at the con. Usually that's the only thing I'm there for is art. But that was really cool. So that being said, hey, thanks for everybody for hanging out with us, watching the shows, being there during the live streams, saying hello. There's a ton of coverage that we are going to release throughout the next couple months. We got a bunch of videos. All the live stream stuff that we stream throughout the con is not up on the channel anymore, but I'm going to put it back out. I'm going to do some little editing, make it look good. And there'll be a lot of cool information and a lot of cool stories in that great con coverage. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a part of the Flipside family, to all the people that show up in the live chat, to all the people that were at the con, to all the people on this panel. Last thing I want to say is something that James from Hive Comics mentioned to me one night at I forget if we were at the bar or we were at the Flipside event, but he said to me, he goes, "Hey, I just want to thank you guys for letting the Hive crew be part of the Flipside team. It's really weird to be hanging out with you guys because we watch you guys on TV, and now we're here hanging out with us, and you let us be part of the family, and you have us on the show." And I'm like, dude, you need to remember something. That's how all of us were. That's how I was. That's how Yi was. That's how Rob was. There's very few of us that are part of that. That's how Sean was. Like, that's what this is about. We are all people. We were in that same position. And that's what Flipside is about, is joining the community, being part of it. And I can't say enough about that feeling that we want everybody watching to be part of that community. If you ever want to come on the show, if this is something that you want to do, if you're part of the chat, whatever, meeting as cons, you're part of that family. And we hope to see you at the next one. We will see you guys next time.